Hi, welcome to Devising Theater class. And for the next few lessons, this is one of those lessons. For the next few lessons, what we're going to be trying to do is we're trying to create and write inner monologues. So we've already defined monologues as pieces of drama that are written for one character, and sometimes they're spoken out loud, and sometimes they're always spoken out loud, and sometimes they're the inner thoughts of a character, things that people don't say. And oftentimes those are different, things that are secret, things that are interesting, things that are the workings of somebody's own mind. So we often call them inner monologues. And another word for those inner monologues is called soliloquy. A soliloquy are the inner thoughts performed on a stage of a character in either a play or alone by itself. So in order to get to that place where we can write down what an inner monologue really is and how it manifests itself on the stage, we have to utilize some tools in order to figure out what that actually looks like to make it feel realistic. And so since we're writing them and not just reading them or performing them, and we're coming from our own personal experiences, what actors frequently use and what people in the real world frequently use is a technique called visualization. Now, visualization is when you create in your mind, you purposefully create in your mind images and stories that are images, and images are pictures, of course. So in a couple of minutes, I'm going to lead you through a visualization, and if you use, and you should use, the sheet that I've given you as well, when we're finished with the visualization, on the sheet called Visualization Monologue, I'd like you to write down the things that you, quote unquote, saw as we were doing the monologue, as we were doing the visualization, things that you saw or felt or heard, etc. And if you focus very carefully when you close your mind and you tune out all the other things, you'll realize that it's a really good way to calm down. It's a really good way to practice for something that's upcoming. Some of you are athletes, Olympic athletes frequently use visualization in order to see the outcome of their race even before it happens. And it helps them reinforce every step of the way in very small detail. Performers use this before they go out on a stage frequently to make sure that they're reinforcing all of the steps that they remembered in their performance, whether they're singers or dancers or theatrical performers and things such as that. And also, people in business use this. People, if they have to make a presentation, and by the way, we do this naturally. And here's how we do it naturally. So have you ever thought about something that you're going to go do or someplace that you're going to, and you thought about what might happen there before you get there? Like, so you're on your way to, an aunt's house that you haven't seen in a long time, and you visualize, you run through your mind over and over again what might happen and the big hug that you're going to get when you walk in the door and stuff like that. So that's just a natural way of visualizing. And of course, you can use it in your real life when you're nervous before a test. You can envision the outcome. And when you can't sleep because your mind is racing, everybody goes through that. When you're in a place where you don't feel comfortable, not a dangerous place, but just a place where you don't feel comfortable, you can use visualization to make yourself feel a little bit better. So in a minute, I'll give you a couple seconds, make sure that you have the paper in front of you and make sure that you're sitting in a comfortable way. And I will walk you through a visualization. Now, you need to close your eyes. So this is what I'll ask you to do in a minute. Close your eyes. And we'll start by doing our natural breathing, and we'll breathe in a little bit and breathe out for a few times. And then I'll begin to talk to you. And I'd like you to keep your eyes closed the whole time that we're doing this so that we understand, and so that you can walk through your own personal experience. I'm going to try and make it as general as I can so that we can walk through our own experience. And of course, don't forget to jot all these things down at the end as complete as you possibly can, because this is what your inner monologue is going to be based upon, and this is what we'll ultimately put on the stage. So you'll be there in exhibition with other people, and this is the scenario that we're going to walk through. We're going to pretend that we're going to a party, and that I will walk you through the experience of the evening, from the beginning of the evening until the end of the evening when you finally go back to sleep. It's a nighttime party. Okay? So sit back and let's begin to think and breathe. And so, if you will, close your eyes carefully, relax your body, and breathe in through your nose. 2, 3, 4, 5. And breathe out through your mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And breathe in through your nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And out through your mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And in through your nose the last time. 4, 5, 6, 7. And out through your mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'd like you to imagine that you're in the space that you're going to get dressed to go to the party. I'd like you to think about what you're going to wear and where in that space you can find those clothes. Now go get those clothes and bring them back and slowly begin to put them on. Try and remember what color they are. Try and remember what texture they are. Try and remember how it feels when you put them on your body. And then I'd like you to slowly walk to a mirror in that space. And I'd like you to look in the mirror at as much of your body, head to toe, as you can. And I'd like to begin by looking at your head and your hair, and slowly move your eyes down your body to your shoulders and to the middle of your body, and down through your hips and through your legs and down to the floor. I'd like you to notice what you're wearing on your feet and how your feet feel touching the ground. Please look to your left and then look to your right, and notice what's in the room. Look up at the ceiling and down at the floor. Feel the temperature of the room. Feel how your feet feel on the floor and in the shoes. And I want you to begin to look closer in the mirror at your face. Notice how your forehead looks, and notice how your cheeks look, and notice how your mouth looks, and notice how your chin looks. And take your 2 hands and put them up against your cheeks and watch as you do this in the mirror. And feel how your cheeks feel. Are they cool? Are they warm? And I want you then to put your arms down by your sides and begin to walk out of the space that you're in, that you've changed in. And as you slowly walk out of this space and out of the place where you got dressed for the party, you come to the door of that space, and you reach out your hand and you touch the door and the doorknob, and you notice what color it is, and you notice what it's made of. You notice what the feel of the doorknob feels like. It's cool or warm or hard. You feel the texture. And you open the door and you listen to the sound of the door opening, and you step outside of that space. And you're either outside or you're on your way to going outside. Begin to walk in that direction. And step outside and stand a few steps out the front door and notice what time of day it is, and notice what the temperature is. Look at what's in front of you. Look slowly what's to your left, and then look to your right. Look down at the ground and see how different it feels on your feet. Look straight ahead and begin to walk toward the mode of transportation that you'll take to get to that party. Feel how your body feels at the moment. Does it feel anxious? Does it feel excited? Does it feel jittery? Does it feel calm, warm? And continue walking and feel and hear the sounds of your feet on the ground and how your arms are by your side. Notice the people around you. They may be familiar, they may not be familiar. And then you reach your mode of transportation, and you get into the mode of transportation. You reach out your hand, and this could be anything from a car to a bus, to a train, to a skateboard, to a bicycle. And feel how it feels in that mode of transportation or on that mode of transportation. And then if you're sitting, see how it feels to sit. See how your body changes and the temperature inside that mode of transportation changes. If you're on a skateboard or a bicycle, you can feel it getting either colder or warmer depending on how fast you're going. And there may be music where you are, and it may be silent, and there may be windows, but as you begin to go, you look outside of those windows or as you're passing things, and you notice the different colors, you notice the lights, you notice the time of day, you notice the temperature, you notice the feeling of your body where you are. And as you continue on your way, you notice landmarks, trees, buildings, stores, other cars, other modes of transportation, people, colors, and sights, and smells, and sounds. And take a moment to continue riding in that way. And pretty soon you're almost at your destination, and you get out of that mode of transportation, and you stop for a moment, and you feel what's around you. You feel the change in temperature. You feel and see the colors and the lights. You know what time of day it is. You smell different things. You hear different things. And you begin to walk towards the entrance of that party, wherever it's being held. It may be being held inside. It may be being held outside. And when you get to that entrance, you notice that you're either alone or with other people, and that the entrance narrows your path. You look to your left and you look to your right, and you look down on the ground. You look up in the sky and you see how your feet feel in your shoes at this moment. And you enter inside of the place where the party will be. It's either held in an outside place or an inside place, but you need to get in there. And as soon as you get in, you notice that things are different again. You look around the room and you see different lights, different sounds, different smells, different colors. You notice that the sounds have changed and people are talking or not talking, or people are dancing or not dancing. People are eating. You notice what food is in the room, if there is any, or drinks. And you look all the way around the room or the space. If you're outside, you notice if there are trees or seats. And you begin to walk through the space, and you hear things, and people greet you, and you remember who they were, and you remember what they say. And as the night wears on, you continue to do certain things. You remember specific things that you did. You remember the music, or the sounds, or the silence. You remember how you felt emotionally, relieved, excited, lonely. And as you walk through the space, you stand to the side for a few moments and you watch everything that's going on. And you scan the room to the left, to the right. And it's almost the end of the evening. You may have eaten something. You're replaying some of those things in your head and you begin to gather your things to leave. You finally reach the exit and you leave that space. And when you leave that space, you stop and recognize that things have changed. The light has changed. The temperature has changed, both from inside the space and because of the time of day. You notice how your body feels differently now. You notice that you may be tireder or more anxious or less anxious. You notice how your clothes feel on your body. And you begin to walk toward your mode of transportation, which may be the same or different as the one that you came in. And you get to that mode of transportation and you go inside of it or on it. And you notice how you feel differently at this time of day than you did at the beginning part of the party and before you left the place where you were dressed. And as you begin to go towards the end space at the end of your night, it may be the same place, it may be a different place. You notice the different colors. You notice how your body feels against the seat that you're sitting on. You notice who's in the car or the bus or the train with you. You look around. You hear how the sounds have changed. They may be louder, they may be softer. And you finally arrive at your destination and you exit or you get off of your vehicle, your bike, your skateboard. And you stop for a moment and you listen and you feel how your feet feel in your shoes now and how different that is from what that was. And you begin to walk towards your final destination. And you get to that door and you reach out your hand and you touch the knob and you feel if there's a difference between how it felt now and how it did at the beginning of the night. And you turn it and you open the door and you hear my dog. And you walk into the space and you go to where you're going to change for the evening to go to sleep. And you take off the clothes that you were wearing and put them neatly someplace. And you put on your nighttime clothes. And you feel the difference in the texture in your clothes. And you go to the mirror, a mirror, and you look very carefully in the mirror at how you look now. And you notice from your head to your shoulders, to your midsection, to your hips, down your legs, your knees, and down to your feet. You note the temperature in the room, the sounds that are around. You move closer to look at your face and see how your face or hair, your forehead, your eyes, your mouth, your neck, how they look different. You take your hands and you put them against your cheeks. And you feel how they feel at this time. They're warmer or cooler, softer. And you make your way, you take one last look at your face, and you make your way to the place that you're going to sleep. And you lie down comfortably. And you begin to replay the night in your head. And you think about all the things that happen. And you get under the blankets or stay on top of them. And you feel how your body feels in this relaxed and comfortable position. And you breathe deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth. And in through your nose and out through your mouth. And you'll let your body slip deeper and deeper into the comfort of that sleeping space. And in through your nose and out through your mouth. And in through your nose and out through your mouth. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes, and I'll turn on the lights. And when I do that, take a moment to try and remember what you visualized. And then you'll begin to write down all of the things you thought you saw on the visualization monologue sheet. You can also find this. I'll put this video online so that you can access it and play it again if you need to, and answer those things. And remember that all of those details, the details of color and sight and sound and feeling and emotional feeling that you had as you were going through that visualization, helped you either to remember or to create inner thoughts. You wanted to think about what you were thinking on your way getting dressed, on your way in your transportation, when you got to the party, what your thoughts were and why they were important. And then you want to capture those thoughts ultimately when we write our first draft of our inner monologues. And we'll discuss that soon. So there will be 2 assignments coming up. 2. The first one is the one that you have in front of you, and that should be finished. All you really have to do is jot down all those things and answer the questions at the bottom. There's only 2 or 3 questions. And the second part of this tomorrow will be to write an inner monologue of a character based on what you visualized. Okay? And then we'll review as we go along. Ultimately, you'll talk to a partner and read it out loud. That's the goal, for you to read it out loud and respond and critique their writing of that inner monologue. Help them find a voice that makes sense to be on a stage, and that sounds as realistic as possible. Somebody's inner thoughts, somebody's innermost thoughts, and of course, we're keeping it clean, people. And then ultimately, you'll memorize and perform that. So that's the first part of our exhibition and the first couple of lessons. The assignments, again, are these. 1, you have to finish that visualization monologue sheet before you leave this room. And 2, tomorrow we're going to write, or the next time we meet, we're going to write that first draft of the inner monologue. The third assignment will be a critique with a partner about whether or not this is good for performance. And the fourth assignment will be to rewrite that for an exhibition. Ultimately, you'll then practice that for a few days with help. We'll try and figure out what props you need, ultimately. And then you'll perform it. Okay? I'm so looking forward to hearing your inner voices. So remember, we discussed and defined monologue, which is a script written for one character. We talked about the word soliloquy, which describes an inner monologue, which are the thoughts, the personal thoughts of a character expressed on stage. Those are some of the things that we discussed today. And so there'll be other vocabulary words as we go along, and I hope that you enjoy doing this type of thing. Some students have asked me to do some more visualizations and put them on YouTube so that they can go to sleep with them, because I'm pretty sure most of you are asleep now too. All right. Peace. Say bye to my dogs that are barking and digging each other up. Have a great day.